Hey everybody, hey, welcome to the channel. I'm Nikki, this is Ranting with Ricardo. We are here for another recap review of All the Queen's Men. Listen, I'm finally going to finish All the Queen's Men. Now I got 4 episodes to get through. It's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a long one. So yeah, grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, grab whatever you need to grab, because this one, hello, hi. This one is going to be a long one. Just grab all your stuff because this is going to be a long one, y'all. If you are new here to the channel and you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people. If you're not new here and you don't like the content, still like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and share me with your people because you may not like me, but somebody out there does. If you want to follow me on social media, you want to buy my merch, you want to buy my lip gloss, you want to blast me with a little something because it was on your heart, you want to do business with me, any type of sort of fashion, everything's in the description box down below. If you want to, no, well, it's in the description box down below and scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Uh, like I said, share me with your people. This is going to be a long one, and this is old because this was supposed to happen a long time ago. But like my cousin Nola said, long time ago, like the video on your way in, like the video on your way out, and things that are upcoming. Love and Marriage Huntsville tonight. Um, the before the season for the rookie feds. That is hopefully going to be tonight, but if it's not, I'll just push it back tomorrow. And then my birthday stream will be on Monday. I will see y'all Monday. Birthday stream. What else do I have going on? I feel like that's about it. And then it's just going to be like regularly scheduled programming, except since my birthday is on Monday. And hey, Ebony, since my birthday is on Monday, Love and Hip Hop Miami and Atlanta will get pushed back to Tuesday because, my birthday. And I don't want to, be trying to have a good time, have my drinks, have my food, and be worrying about dealing with, them people down to the Atlanta and Miami. So come Monday, my birthday. I'm turning 24. Y'all come celebrate with me, okay? And the Cash App will be up all day because I will be taking birthday gifts in the form of Cash Apps, okay? Anyway, with that being said, let's get into it because I got 4 episodes to get through. If y'all can hang with me for all 4 episodes, I truly appreciate it. Like the video on your way in, like the video on your way out. And let's get into this. So, boom. Diamond found a bag of money under Amp's bed, okay? Now, right now, we all thinking, oh my God, the bag of money is Madam's money that is missing because she had $2 million that they stole, but she missing a meal, okay? Now, the only reason why she found the bag of money or she saw the bag of money is because she tripped when she was getting his pain pills. So now it's just like, oh my God, what did I do? What did she do? Oh my God. So she gets surprised by Amp, who then got sent back to the club because Madam said he looked like shite, okay? He don't look good. He not feeling good. He got sent back home. She gets surprised. He right behind her. Now she trying to scurry her happy self back to the club, okay? And Amp is trying to get her to stay, and he didn't apologize because earlier in the day they got into a little, verbal altercation or whatever. But here's the thing. Amp is noticing that the energy is real off. He's noticing that it's just like, I don't know what's going on with you. It's like, it's real different. You acting real funny. What is happening? And she is really trying to get away from him. Child, she trying to get away from him. He talking about, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for acting up. I'm gonna be straight up with you as long as you're straight up with me. And he, once again, like I said, he's picking up on her energy being off, and she's still trying to play it off like that's not what it is, and it is what it is. And then he like, you gonna come back over later in the night? And she was like, oh no, I need to go home because I need to clean. I got some errands to run. And he's just like, Thank you. Thank you so much. I will be doing a live, so have your post notifications on, people. She like, anytime a woman don't want to come back over and is saying all this stuff and making excuses to me, she's still mad. She like, I'm not still mad. She really, I legitimately, she's not mad. She's just like worried because right now all she knows is he has a bag of money under his bed. She doesn't know where the money came from. She knows Madam is still missing her money, and she's thinking worst case scenario that this is the money that's missing. Now, here's the thing. I've already said across multiple people's platforms and when the whole thing came up with the missing money, I thought, because we're going to get to it, I thought that Bill and Red, mostly Bill, put the money in Amp's apartment because Bill and Red had already had this scheme going, already had this scheme running, as in they steal from people, they have the halfway house people rob and steal and do whatever, and then they blame them for everything. So then they don't get in trouble and it don't blow back on them. So that's what I thought, but that is not the case scenario right now. Okay, that's not what this is. But we're gonna get into it on what it truly is. So we see El Fuego. He out here giving it to the girls, all the good dance moves and all the good energy, okay? He is showing y'all his stroke game, okay? And, now his ex, the church girl that he done ran away from the church. And I'm just like, what is going on with this church? Was it a cult? Did something bad happen to Fuego? Y'all got to let us know. We want more Fuego, okay? More Fuego, less Miss Tandy. But the ex shows up and she trying to put money in his, his little G string or whatever, and he not having it. He walk away because he's not a hoe. You cannot pay him, okay, to talk to you. So the doe-eyed dancer walks up on Tommy and is like, if there's anything I could do for you, let me know. And Tommy like, you can't do nothing for me. Like, what do you want? Like, Tommy is real standoffish with the dude. Like, he don't want to hear from him. He don't want to talk to him. Tommy is basically on that energy like, you can't do nothing for me. Quit talking to me. Yeah. The way Fuego was trying to make it seem like is that he was in a cult, okay? Because he was like, I can't go back after everything that church did to me. And it's just like but we're gonna get to it. And it's just like, was it a cult? Is that what's going on? Fuego, you let us know something. So listen, Tommy real standoffish, and I feel like Tommy being standoffish with some of the dancers is gonna be a problem when we get later into the episodes. And dude, Rayshawn, the doe-eyed dancer, pats Tommy on the back, and Tommy almost takes off on him, but then he realized it's not that type. It ain't that type of problem. It ain't that type of problem. Okay. Ultimately, they have a little back and forth or whatever. I didn't really pay attention to a lot of it, and Tommy tell him, just get out of my face. Now the concierge calls Madam, and he says, he could have handled the junkyard stuff, okay, with one call. And then he runs down the exact reason that she was gonna give as to why she don't ask no man or nobody for no help. And she like, well, you knew what I was gonna say, and I know what you gonna say. So what the hell is going on? And he tells her, you're killing ants with a sledgehammer. So basically, he's telling her, these little things you keep doing, like the junkyard and the blowing up the halfway house and the stuff that's gonna happen later, these are like things on a small scale. These are ants. They're annoying. We don't want them at the picnic, and they a bitch to get out your house if you have an ant infestation. But listen, all you gotta do is raid them hoes. All you gotta do is get you a nice can of Raid and spray them bitches. You don't have to take a sledgehammer and be destroying shit everywhere you go. And he like, there's power. Like, you don't really have the power you think you have, because real power doesn't make you have to do these big extravagant things. Real power, you can just whisper and it gets done. And she says, see, I don't have that luxury. I'm a woman. So I have to prove myself at every turn. And it's just like, you having to prove yourself is some bullshit. I don't think she needs to prove herself, because obviously you get stuff done. But then it's just like, as a woman, here's the thing I didn't like about what he said to her, talking about, well, you don't have real power if you feel like you need to prove yourself at every turn. as a woman, specifically a black woman, specifically in the in the area of what Madam does, all the criminal ish, and running that club full of men. Hold on. All that stuff she does, yes, she does have to, even though, listen, an ant infestation is a bitch. All you gotta do is get some raid and just be shoot, spray them. But the way things are working out with her being a woman, a black woman, and a black woman running not only one club, but a whole damn crime ring. Oh no, she has to prove herself, because at every turn somebody's going to try her like she don't really do this, like she new to this and she not true to this, like she wasn't born to do this. So they're going to try her. So while she is taking a sledgehammer to ant-sized problems, she's going to have to continue to do that. I mean, she could be a little, it could be a little more finesse than that, but it's going to have to happen because people are going to keep testing her like she not about that life. I'm just saying. She get off the phone with him. So then we see Miss Candy. Miss Candy then showed up at the club. She didn't turn Babyface away for the doe-eyed dancer. Why? Because he is gullible, he is naive, and he is easy to trick. Thank you. He is easy to trick. So she's spitting game at him and basically tells him that, she loves that he's naive. And he's like, I'm not naive. And she's like, oh, you're not naive in that way. But really, she's saying, I love that you're naive enough to not to see what everybody else is saying to you, because everybody is warning him not to go and he still want to go. Everybody is telling him don't do nothing with Miss Tandy, and he still want to do it. So obviously you naive and you want to believe the best in people, and you can't believe the best in people, because the best in, you want to believe the best in everybody, and everybody's nice and everybody's just, oh, they're just really light and fluffy, okay? Everyone's just like really good people. We'll have your ass bent over a table, not even bound and gagged, bent over a table, chained to said table, and people doing whatever they want to do to you. And now now you got to go to the hospital. But I digress. Okay, so the doe-eyed dancer take Miss Tandy up to the VIP room, and he giving her head in the VIP room, and she tells her and the white man gonna put him up in a nice place, the apartment over their garage. Okay, and they want him to quit his job at Eden, and they're gonna give him a new car, and they're gonna give him all this money. Okay, he taking it in, he eating it up, because he ain't never had nobody do this for him. He's never had anybody care about him to the point where they want to take care of him. So he's eating it up, not seeing the signs of this is not a good situation. You've only known her for maybe 2 or 3 days. You don't know this lady. You don't know what her and her husband got going on. Don't do it. He ignored all the red flags. And Tandy say because her and her husband because when her husband likes something / someone, they go after them full force. And full force is having you move in, dump your girlfriend, quit your job, and almost have to shoot somebody down to the parking lot to get the keys back to the car that they took from you. Okay. Anyway, she like I said, she tells him to break up with his girlfriend. All they want is for him to lay by the pool naked and screw them all day long. Okay, lay by the pool all day and screw them all night long. Once again, red flags. He's ignoring everything. Why? Because he's never had someone do these things for him. And the game she's spitting to him, and the fact that she clocked that he was naive, and she clocked that he was gullible, and he's an easy target. He doesn't realize that he's an easy target. He's not seeing nothing. So now child. So after he done giving her head and everything, she telling him it's over between you and your little girlfriend, okay? We gave you a car, we gave you money, we moving you in. It's over. You gonna quit your job. It's over between you and her. She then hands him $3,000 and says, "It's what happened to the money that we already gave you?" They gave him $10,000. Babyface took that. Babyface also took that goddamn car, cause Rayshawn, aka the doe-eyed dancer, in Babyface's mind is his bottom bitch, okay? He was like, oh, I put it in a safe. And she was like, good, because you're going to need a bigger safe. And, come to the house later. Now, Babyface pops up and tells him, you my hoe. I put you on. You going to get my money, okay? You going to get my car. But Rayshawn not trying to listen to it. Rayshawn is like, I'm quitting my job. They're going to move me in. You can keep the little car because they're going to give me a new one. You can keep the little funky $10,000 because they're going to give me more money than I've ever had before. They're going to take care of me. And all I got to do is suck and screw, okay? I'm not worried about what you got to say, Babyface, and I ain't no hoe. And it's just like, you are a hoe in a way because you did slob the knob like you was a pro for $10,000 and you got a car out of it. So you're kind of a hoe. But you know what? We support sex workers over here on this channel. However, we also want y'all to be safe, and this is not safe. Listen, PSA, if somebody wants to move you into their home, they want to buy you a car, they want you to lay around the pool all day, then they want to screw you all night long, and they want you to quit your job and break up with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your they, your thems, your partners, okay? They want you to leave everything behind and come live with them. Not good people. Not good people. It's gonna be a jacked up situation. So don't do it. Be cautious. Don't ignore all signs like Rayshawn. Have your eyes open. Have your ears open. Be watching and listening to everything because ultimately that's gonna save you. Be mindful. Listen, I got bad anxiety. I'm paranoid like a mother. And I have depression. So I'm always in my head. So I am paying attention to every single thing that's going on around me, just in case something gonna pop off and I could get out. Not saying I'm in this type of situation, but I like to pay attention to everything because what's not gonna happen, somebody gonna get me. So Babyface tells him, you know what? I done seen it all. I done heard it all. I've done it all. Okay, I've been in this business 17 years. I'm an old hoe. I'm a pro at this. Okay, and I know that this situation you about to get yourself into is not a good situation. And Babyface runs it down to him. They gonna screw him. They not gonna put nothing in your name. And then they're going to hold on to him until the next young hot tender comes around. And then they're going to drop you like a hot pocket fresh out the microwave. This is not what you want. And once again, Rayshawn, a.k.a. the doe-eyed dancer, it is ignoring all signs. So let's get El Fuego out the way. Fuego got a VIP session. It take a long time for him to take his raggedy tail up there to the VIP. But when he get there, it's his ex-girlfriend. It's the the pastor, the preacher, the bishop, whoever's daughter, okay? She don't want to get married to the man she marrying. Her father is basically forcing her to marry this man. She's not in love with him. She's in love with El Fuego, aka Alonzo. She want to be with him, and he don't want her, okay? Because she don't want to stand up to her pappy because she don't want to be cut off from the money train like her sister, okay? And he telling her, girl, you got to go, okay? I'm not going back to that church. It sounds like a cult to me. It sounds like a cult. I'm not going back to that church. I don't love you. Leave me alone. This is my job. Quit playing with me. This is the only job I got. So if I lose it, what I'm going to do? Bye. And all she want to do is talk because she bought the room for like an hour. But here's the thing. He don't want to talk to her. He begging her. He is begging her like Jodeci in the desert with the shirts open. Baby, I'm begging, baby. I'm begging, baby. Girl, just go. And she don't, so he leave. Now we see Midnight. He's still having problems with his schlong. Okay, the schlong is, possibly about to die and fall off. Who knows? And he won't listen to the doctor. And said, oh, okay, so your issue gonna continue. Hey, welcome. How you doing today? How you feeling? You still in that ugly green dress? Tell me as I continue. Anyway. Oh, Babyface come down to the the locker room and he running it down to the guys, and they basically tell him he grimy and he ain't ish for what he did. Okay, you didn't suck you wasn't sucking nothing. You wasn't slobbing the knob. You wasn't doing the pepper grinder on it. You wasn't doing nothing. So the car and the money Child, and I know you're not gonna eat that hospital food because I wouldn't either. They tell him how grimy he is. They like, well, sir, you didn't slob the knob. You wasn't doing the pepper grinder motion on it. You didn't use your mouth. You didn't use your tongue. You didn't use your hands. You didn't use nothing. You didn't breathe through your nose. You didn't do nothing. So that being said, you don't get nothing. Hand that man back that money. Hand over the money and the car keys because you don't deserve it. And he's so upset. He like, man, y'all supposed to be my friends. Why aren't y'all down with me? Because they could all see like we see that you grind me for what you did. And because you ain't the one who was down there slobbing the knob, doing the pepper grinder motion, breathing through your nose, using your mouth, your hands, and whatever else you want to use when you're down there, with the peen, you don't deserve nothing. Babyface, like I said, Babyface want to be a pimp so bad, but Miss Patty finna get that ass later. Rayshawn, the doe-eyed dancer, tells Trouble about, his new situation. And Trouble's like, don't do it, okay? It's way too soon. You don't know these people. All you know is they're nice to you. But you don't really know these people and how they get down. See, once again, Rayshawn is ignoring what? All the signs. Everybody is warning him. Tommy warned him. Babyface warned him. And I mean, like, I wouldn't want to talk to Babyface after he basically pimped you out, left you because he saw you slob a knob. And then eventually, you went back in, slobbed some more, and, ate some too. And then got a car and some money out of it. And then he, took your money and the car. And then Trouble is warning you, but he don't want to hear it, okay? Trouble, like, don't do it. She said it's way too soon. And she said this ish right here is going to get you caught up and it's going to get weird real fast, real soon. Don't do it. He not listening. And she says, normally they want one thing and then when they get that one thing, they want more. And it was like, it sounds like men. Sounds like users. Sounds like a few people I know. Not in the sense of what's about to go down with Rayshawn, but sounds like some people I know, like they want one thing, and then once they get it, they want more, and it's just like they just take, and they never give anything. Anyway, now Rayshawn say it's just sex. It's nothing. It's just like it's not just sex. Here's the thing: people don't realize unfortunately, even if you don't think you are sharing a piece of your soul. You are leaving a little piece of you behind with everybody you have sex with. And ultimately, the people you have sex with, you are going to have sex with everybody else they've had sex with because you don't know them like that. You ain't had them tested. You don't know they people. You don't know how they truly get down. All you know is they're giving you money. They're giving you a place to stay. They want you to quit your job because you're going to be a kept man. But you don't know them people. And then it's just like you don't know them enough to be moving into their house. But once again, he's ignoring all signs. And it's just sex to him. Trouble's like, no, it's not. I knew a dude in LA, white dude at that was picking dudes up, drugging him, punching him, and then killing him. And she said he killed a lot of people. And I said, it feels like this is a true story. And I possibly heard it somewhere on the 2020 of Crime Watch Daily. I've heard this story. And she like, well, let me meet him. Because, he's still ignoring all signs. And she was like, let me meet him. And he was like, oh, no. She like, I'm worried for you. He's still ignoring everything. Now, he about to take off and quit his job without telling Madam. And Trouble says, take your ass back there and talk to her. And he like, well, she said, just go back there and talk to her. Now, Rayshawn comes to tell Madam that he's quitting. Madam tells Tommy to let him in. Mind you, Tommy is at the door. He calling Rayshawn all types of stupid. He not letting him in. He telling him Madam don't want to speak to you. And it's just like, Tommy, this type of behavior is going to have something happen to that boy later on. The way he talking to him and being standoffish and just basically telling him Madam don't care, Madam don't want to talk. It's going to have him possibly, hopefully, I hope it's not the situation, but something bad gonna happen. So he run everything down to Madam and Tommy from like the older dancers, the senior dancers, Babyface pimping him out, Miss Tandy and that colonizer she's married to, him slobbing a knob and doing all that, him getting pimped out, the fact that Miss Tandy wants him to quit working there, come live with her and her husband, and they're gonna put him up and take care of him. Now they taking everything in, They kind of warning him too, but he is like once again ignoring all signs. They using sarcasm as well, and eventually, he's like, "Oh, thank you for the opportunity. I'm gonna leave now," and leaves. And Tommy asks Madam, "Should we warn him?" And Madam says, "No, he gonna have to learn his lesson because he has been warned." And now I have to go back. He was warned by one of the junior dancers. He didn't want to listen. He got warned by Babyface. He didn't want to listen. Tommy warned him earlier in the episode. He didn't want to listen. Madam and Tommy warned him again. He didn't want to listen. Trouble warned him and he didn't want to listen. So at this point, because you don't want to listen and we are telling you you can't trust these people, you don't know these people, now you're going to have to see it for yourself, unfortunately. You're going to have to see what happens. And, we don't want that to happen to you because nobody deserves what's about to happen to him by the end of this episode, going into the next episode. Nobody deserves that. But once again, like I said, he doesn't want to listen, and we can't help nobody that don't want to be helped. Don't save him. He don't want to be saved because all he is seeing is the fact that these people are willing to take care of him unlike anybody has ever taken care of him before. And I'm talking about like financially and monetary things. And it's just like, what was your home like? What was your home life like? To the point where they showing you just a little bit of kindness with some money, and now you gonna quit your job, drop your girlfriend, and just say, I'm gonna move in with these random ass people I don't know. Let's dive deep into his situation in season 3, because I need to know. Now, Madam and Tommy end up leaving to go to the hospital to go talk to the hillbilly king. Now we see Carla. She outside with some dude trying to put a hit out on Madam. She wants her dead. Okay, she wants her dead and she wants the club burned to the ground. Okay, she upset because they daddy, when their father was living with her, the gang, I think it's like the Black Street Boys, something like that, okay? They was breaking her off some money. So really this is all about getting money. She don't care nothing about her daddy. She don't care nothing about that man. This is ultimately about her getting money. And it's just like there are people who have family members like that who don't give a damn about the family members who are sick, who are, confined to wheelchairs, who are confined to beds and paralyzed, who are in hospice care or anything else. They don't give a damn about them people. All they care about is getting some money, whether it be a check from the state, a check from the insurance company, a check from the estate, or some money from, some illegal activities they used to do in the past. She don't give a damn about her father. She just wants the money. Now, here's the thing. When she talking all this, rah-rah and saying all this ish, and she mentioned the gang's name, dude face changes. But she's just going off. Like, she is not paying attention to the things that are around her. And the moral of this episode 7 is to pay attention to the things going on around you. Rayshawn, and the fact that people are not paying attention to the stuff that's happening around them. Rayshawn won't listen to people. He's not paying attention to everybody's body language and what they're saying about Miss Tandy and that dandruff demon she married. El Fuego's ex is not paying attention and is not recognizing, that it is that man's choice to lead a church. And if he don't want to talk to you, he don't have to talk to you. Dime's not paying attention to what could possibly happen and the fact that Amp is picking up on her bad energy and what could possibly happen if she tell him that, it's money under his bed. And Amp not really paying attention to like what's really going on. He could have kept her there longer. He really could have asked her anything. Hell, he could have told her what the money under the bed was for, but he didn't. And now we got Carla about to get her ass caught up because she's not paying attention to when she mentioned the name of the gang and who her father was. Dude's face changed completely. Face just changed. But she don't pay attention to this. So the dude says, how you gonna take care of me? She was like, I always take care of you. I said, so you be throwing coochie at these men? Okay. And he was like, no. I know that. I'm talking about how are you going to pay me? And she's like, I'm going to break you off. I always do stuff for you. I've done big-ish for you. And it's just like, that don't matter. That don't matter at this point. Because now you're going to get him caught up. So Dime come back to the club and she tells Blue about the money in the trash bag under Amp's bed. Now Blue ready to go off like, oh my god, he done stole Madam's money. Like she ready to, guns blazing, get that big thing and go see Amp. But Dime is just like, promise you won't say anything. And Blue is like, I have to say something. And she's like, promise you won't say anything. And Blue says, I'm gonna go get that money. And Dime says, don't hurt him. And it's just like, Dime, you should have known what was going to happen when you told her, especially with the money missing. Okay? You should have known what was going to happen. And basically, it's going to be a setup situation. After the club ends, they do tip out. They're going to go over there to Amp House. Dime going to go in there for a good 20 minutes and try to figure what's going on out. And if she don't have stuff figured out, and Blue going to handle it. Because ultimately they feel like, Blue feels like the situation is crazy and there's no excuse for him to have that type of money because he just got out of jail. Skipping over the Fuegos type situation because I already talked about him, but ultimately he comes downstairs. He ain't making no money up there. The girl paid for the room, but he ain't got no money. And Blue says, a tip out, if your money short, we're going to have a conversation. Now, Madam shows up to the hospital, talk to the hillbilly king. Okay, she done sprayed him with a mixture of lye and told him, listen, you sweat or I get your, or if I pour water on you, it's going to activate it and your face going to start to melt off. And I said, oh, damn, I don't want my face to melt off. Oh, no, ma'am. Oh, no. What the hell? Stuff get crazier and crazier. Now, he says he and Bill had a deal. He knew the money was there. And, she says, well, there's $1 million missing. He was like, well, I don't know nothing about that. You're going to have to go talk to Bill. And she says, I can't talk to Bill because Bill ceased to exist now. He no longer of the earth, okay? There's no body, no bones, no dust, no nothing. We don't know where Bill is, but Bill ain't no longer here. He had met his maker. He at the crossroads with his people, so he won't be lonely. He at the crossroads with all the men from the halfway house that ultimately, if him and Red wasn't such greedy bastards, they would have been able to live their life. Okay? And he tells her, I'm not scared of nobody, but I respect you. And then he tells her Amp set everything up. Now, here's what I said. I know, and I'm not talking about because I've watched all the episodes and, I know for a fact. But it's like I know from season 1 that this was going to be the situation just for the simple fact that Red and Bill said they had set people up in the past and blamed them for like the robberies and everything else so they wouldn't get caught and sent them people back to jail. So I was like, it's a setup. It's a scheme that the bishop has set up. Now, Madam says she know her nephew and he wouldn't do nothing like this. And the hillbilly king says, I'm saying it because he's like, I'm saying it. I'm telling you everything because we're not a match for you and I respect you and I want to work together. And work together, he got a whole damn meth lab, okay, making meth. And she was like, I wiped my ass with that money, okay? Now, once again, she asked where the money is. And once again, he says, I'm telling you the truth. I don't know where the money is. Go talk to your nephew. And I got a feeling that they told him the nephew's name. And maybe Red was like, acting like he was Amp in this situation. But we never gonna know. She tells him, you know what? Your days are numbered. You're going to cease to exist in a couple of days. He like, just go see. The official fluffer is back for the guys. And child, it's a mess. She's down there slapping the knob, trying to get it as hard as she can. So they go out here and dance their little booties off. Now, Madam is pissed. She feel like blowing stuff up. She feel like destroying some stuff. So she was like, Tommy, did Roman pay me? Tommy, nope, Roman didn't pay you. Tommy, find out where Roman at. And I was like, well, Roman, you should have paid her. Now, Madam calls Blue to let her know she on her way back and that they need to talk. And Blue is like, okay, so I need to talk to you too. Madam gets off the phone. She calls Amp. She asks how he's feeling. And, he says, I'm good, okay? She says, I need you to come back to the club and hurry it up, okay? Now, she does, before she gets off the phone with him, she asks him if he loves her. And he says, with all my heart, I love you. And I feel like, oh God, this is going to be a bad situation. This right here is going to be a bad situation. Because I don't believe the man stole the money. And I know he didn't steal the money just for me watching it. But at trying to be as, transparent as possible, I never thought he stole the money. I always thought that the money had come from somewhere else. And, he had it under the bed. Or the money got snuck into, his place. And I feel like her asking him before she got off the phone if he loved her was her trying to gauge exactly where he was at, and she was trying to meet him where he was at, because ultimately this is going to be a fucked up situation. Now Doc is dancing and some girl is like, you're not paying attention to me, and I want you to dance for me, and when I say dance, I want you to dance for me outside the club. And I was like, it's a setup. Don't trust the bitch. Don't trust her. Now, Doc is on stage performing and is having visions of a dead Tina. Okay, it's guilt. It's guilt. It's his first kill. She following him around. Some white boy is signed up for amateur hour and is questioning Dime about, the music and when he's supposed to go on. And she does a whole shoot to him. Go get away from me with this. Because now she's stressed out. She's stressed about the amp and the money. Doc is like angry. He going off on everybody because, once again, like I said, hold on. Like I said, he's seeing Tina, okay, is guilt. The guilt is eating him up, and he gonna continue to see her until he make peace with her. It's her ghost. Madam and Tommy roll up on Roman at a card game that Madam started. And Roman is acting like he in charge. He calls her a batch. She said, what you call me? He gets in her face, all up close and personal, stank ass breath and all, and calls her batch. So she takes a bottle and cracks him over the face. Now, Tommy started fighting the two big dudes at the door. And then, they start beating him down because it's a 2-on-1 situation. So Carla walks her flaw ass in talking about catch my kill. Carla's like, Roman is my man, and I can't protect you, sister, half sister, adopted sister, and all. I can't protect you unless you apologize for coming up here and doing that and said, these are my people. Roman also said they was his people too. But it's just like, y'all don't know what's happening, okay? Y'all don't. Madam says, when I call y'all numbers, switch this up. So Madam starts saying, 7, 11, 12, 3, 4, calling off all these numbers, and everybody who originally had a gun or paws put on Madam and Tommy when they came in have now switched the guns and paws being put on Carla and Roman. And it was like, oh, so you thought you was running something. You're not running nothing. Now Madam looks at Carla and says, I know everything about you. Everything you think you're in charge of, you're not in charge of. She says, I know your every move. So everything you think you're in charge of, you're not in charge of. Everything you think you're doing, from putting a hit out on me and trying to burn down my club, I already know everything. And if I was you, I'd walk away right now. And it's just like, Carla wouldn't have been able to walk up out of there. Sister or not, the bitch was going to have to get got. She a half sister. She was definitely going to have to get got, because she tried to put a hit out on you. Then she was going to burn down your club with everybody up in it. And Madam basically tells Carla, you think you're in charge, but no, I'm really in charge. Madam says, Carla, hit the door. Believe Roman. Now, Roman get left, and she tells the fellas to pack him up and deliver him to her. Because he playing games with her and her money, okay? He owe her about $50,000, but we're going to see what happened. Now, Madam makes an off comment to Tommy about how her father is talking to her, and it's like he doesn't have Alzheimer's at all, and, she needs to get a burner phone into her father. And we all know from watching the previous season that her father is not sick, okay? He's not. He's faking the funk because the feds is watching, okay? While he is confined to a chair, his mind is still there, and he is still calling the shots. And yes, that burner phone needs to get into the Pappy up there at the home so he could be calling the shots even more. But like I said, he not sick at all. He faking the funk to get along because the feds is what they're watching him because his ass is in trouble. But because he's faking, they can't put him up on no charges because it's just like he don't even know what he did in their eyes. So Rayshawn calls Miss Candy. She tells him she not coming to get him and he needs to bring that car back by any means necessary. Now there's a gun in the bushes. Get it? Use it to get that car back. And he like, I don't want to go to jail. And she tells him, do what I told you to do. A mess. So Amp shows up to the club. Blue is like, standoffish with him. She like upset because she believes at this point that he stole Madam's money. She calls Madam about Amp and she tells her she needs to talk to her. Blue like, I gotta be nice and you know I hate being nice. Madam tells her to break out the wood chipper. And I was like, not the wood chipper. Lord, somebody about to go through the wood chipper. She apologizes to Amp. Amp goes to talk to Dime. And he like, what's going on? Don't lie. She gives him the brush off. And he's like, y'all on BS. And it's just like, yeah, they on BS. And right now, you gonna be up out of here. Because they think you stole that money. And if they think you stole that money, you're not gonna be living much longer. Now the white boy dances, he do good, but he playing country music and it's not a good song. His music, like he's good, he dances good, but his music taste is trash. So everybody is giving Amp the brush off. Rayshawn walks up on Babyface to get the keys to the car, like in the parking lot, and he pull out a gun on him. Now Trouble walk up and she just like see Rayshawn with the gun pointed at Babyface, and she just tell Babyface give him the keys. Babyface brush her off, and while Rayshawn is distracted, Babyface pops him in the face and takes the gun and points at him and hems him up a little bit and says, "The next time you pull a gun on me, you better use it." And I was like, child, don't get this man no ideas because I'm feeling like Babyface gonna get shot in the kneecaps. I'm sorry. It's basically what it's giving me. Because you pimped him out. And he ultimately gonna blame you after what's going to happen later. Now, Rayshawn know he can go home without that car. And Trouble says, you're going to have to go home without the car because he's not going to give you the car because Babyface didn't already took off with the car and the gun. And she says, I'll take you home. And you better think of something real good to get their minds off of it. Now, Tandy and her husband are dressed in leather and chains, and they got a little dog collar, a studded one at that. Rayshawn says, he pull up, but they didn't see the car pull up. He got dropped off. And Rayshawn was like, I'll make it up to you. Now, Nola, if you hear, you're going to be like, now, what the hell is going on? Rayshawn said, I'll make it up to you. I promise I will. And they were like, oh, we believe you can make it up to us. But first you're going to have to get punished, okay? I wouldn't say normal BDSM, relationship. But, there's always a punishment somewhere in there for some people from what I've read and what I heard and what I learned, okay? Not firsthand knowledge whatsoever. Just, what, I've learned about, these types of relationships and types of situations. So the white man tells Rayshawn, get on your knees and lick my boots. And he does. And he is licking this man's boots. I said, ew, no, nasty. First of all, I'm not getting on my knees to lick nobody's boots because that's just disrespectful. That's degrading me. So that should have been like, you know what? I'm going to just leave. Y'all both in leather. You hoes can't catch me. Then it's just like, you don't know where them boots have been? So he licking the boots. They get up. They walk to another room. It's the BDS room. Child, when I say it's the BDSM room, I mean it's the BDSM room, okay? I saw chains, I saw hot wax, I saw nipple clamps, I saw spreaders. Don't ask me how I know. I saw handcuffs, this long ass table is, dildos lining up on the wall and everything, all different colors, all shapes and sizes. I said, oh no, this is not a good situation. So they start to take off his clothes. He like, no, I don't like this. I'm not into this. I'll do anything. I slobbed the knob again. He tried to, get I forgot what the coloniser's name is, but the dude was like, don't touch me. They end up bending him over the table, chaining him to said table, hands first. And then they sodomized him. And I said, oh no. And he just screaming and screaming. And I said, oh no, this is not a good situation at all. And I have to go back to the fact that this is exactly what everybody was trying to warn him about. And once again, he ignored all signs because he had never had someone want to take care of him before. He had never had someone want to hand over that type of money to him before. And he thought he was on the come up and all he had to do was slob a little knob and, eat a little buffet. And ultimately, that is not the situation. Now, Tommy Blue, Diamond Madam are sitting down with Amp as Madam is questioning him about the money. They got the wood chipper. They got the something to electrocute people with. Okay, Madam is talking to him, like, is looking at him like, you're not my nephew. You somebody who stole my money. And he is legit trying to get her to look at him as her nephew. Like the nephew she's cared about, the nephew she loved, the nephew that she was, upset about shooting, the one she helped, when he got out of jail. And she not looking at him. So they counted the money at $785,000 in a bag. We find out that Amp sued the trucking company. A lawyer came to him about, the accident that happened, and that Amp sued the trucking company that caused this accident. It was $1 million before the lawyer took his fees. After, it was $785,000. He got it in cash. He wanted it in cash because he never believed they was going to be able to give him the money. Like, he never thought they were going to win. So the money has been sitting in a safety deposit box for 9 years. He just recently got the money the day before. And he was going to bring the money to Madam so she could help him figure out what to do with it, so he could just hand the money over to Shannon's mother. He wasn't going to spend none of it because to him it's blood money. So then he started going off, like, he admits that, he killed Shannon. He did it on purpose. He was pissed. So he, ran the car into the truck, or the truck ran into them. I don't particularly care at this moment because ultimately you was high, you was drunk, you was yelling, you was screaming, you was cussing, you was fussing. So at some point you did want to kill y'all. But you also had to swerve out the way. Why? Because a truck came and caused an accident. And he begging Madam to look at him and, believe him. And, and he's like, if you don't believe me, if you're not looking at me, like, not with anger, but with love in the eyes of my aunt and not Madam, the cold-hearted batch who gonna, take anybody out in the moment that they disrespected her, then I'm already dead. Madam is looking at the bills. She look at Blue. She, move her hand across the bottom of the bill, and she says, let him go. Take him home. Amp said, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm done. I'm done with everybody. Because Tommy, when he was sitting down, when Amp was sitting down, Tommy punched him in the face. When he said, I'm good. I'm done. I don't need y'all to take me home, he got up and dropped Tommy to the ground. And then he looked at Dime and told her, they looked at Dime and told her he hates her. And he said that type of, like, when he said, I hate you, that was from his gut. Okay, he felt it in his gut. Now, Blue shows, listen, these are all the fonts. I use the same font, so now we in episode 8. Now, Blue shows Tommy and Dime the serial numbers on the bills. The serial numbers on the bills are too old to be Madam's money. The serial numbers are 9 years old. It's not new bills. Okay, it's not. Which means he was telling the truth. Now, Blue and Dime wish they hadn't said anything, but if they didn't say anything, it would have been they asses would have been grass. Now, crazy Teresa shows up at Doc's place begging for him to let her stay. Child, she is losing her mind. She banging on doors. She telling him, you should have just did what I told you to do. And she still don't know that he knows about what she, the whole husband situation. He, like, old girl from the club, who I feel like is about to be a setup situation, he done brought her home. And Teresa is calling her out her name, calling him out his name. It's crazy. So, Doc done brought old girl home. They get the hunching on the chair. Mind you, this is like a spinning chair. This is like a regular, it's a chair. It's a lounge chair, but it's a lounge chair that spins. So he got her naked. he is, giving it to her, and they just spinning around like they on a merry-go-round. And I was like, I feel like maybe this heightens everything, but I also think that, this gonna make everybody dizzy. Now, Babyface go home to see Miss Patty then took all his ish. She then took everything. Took it all. So she calls him and she tells him, I didn't took it all. You didn't try to play me. I done took everything. You gonna have to move out. Oh, and I'm suing you for every single thing I've ever given you because you played me. A mess. Then Miss Patty pops up on midnight, wanting to get some, dick from him. And Midnight is like, I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing with fire. I already had an issue with Doc over Teresa. I'm not about to have an issue with Babyface over you. Okay? I'm not about to be fighting with nobody. And then because he keep telling Miss Patty he busy, Miss Patty trying to come in, so he opened the door just a little more so he could, like, Miss Patty could see that he is very busy. And Miss Patty tell the girl who's slobbing and knob, use two hands, girl. And Midnight was like, she was right about that. Grind the pepper. Listen, if you want to binge watch it, I got the free site. Okay, I got the free site. It's got season 1 and 2, and Zatima is on it too. Just grind the pepper, he said. Now, Madam is, wondering, is she the drama? I can't be the drama. I think I'm the drama. She basically thinks, she's wondering, is she the drama? She tells Tommy she wants to go to the hospital in the morning, and that, they just talking about everything that's happened. And Tommy says, I left you a surprise in your room. The surprise is Roman. Roman is naked in a cage, and she doesn't want, she like, how he gonna go to the bathroom? Tommy is like, I'll walk him. She was like, good idea. And then she was like, you know what? I don't want no animals in the house tonight. So he was like, I put him outside. She was like, now, how cold is it supposed to be? Tommy said it's gonna get to the lower 40s. She said, good. Take him outside, have him in the cage, and keep him naked. It'll make him talk in the morning. Now, Dime comes to see Amp. He don't want anything to do with her. He want his goddamn key back. He don't want to talk to her. She want to talk to him. He tells her, you screwed up. Why wouldn't you have just asked me about the money? Why didn't you say anything to me before you left and went and opened your mouth to Blue? And then Blue had to open her mouth to Madam and Tommy. Like, you could have talked to me, but you didn't do that. And he said, the reason you didn't do that because it's obvious you don't trust me. And it was just like, well, after you admitted that you kind of did want to die with Shannon, I wouldn't trust you either. But hey, that's just me. He says, I could have died tonight. And it's true, because Madam said, get the wood chipper. Wait till everybody clear out, because you don't want to hear his screams. And he says, I could have died tonight. And I know exactly what it feels like to try to make up with a dead person. It don't work. They start going back and forth. He says he doesn't, because he keeps telling her to leave, get out, go. She still want to talk. And he basically is like, see, this is what y'all do. When we tell y'all to leave and we tell y'all to go and get our faces so stuff won't escalate, you steady want to talk to me and I'm telling you to leave. And she says, how we do. He says, yes. So basically, y'all know that little thing that men be saying, or, some people be saying when they in domestic violence situations. And it's just like, I told them to leave. I told them to go. And they kept talking to me. And the person got so angry that they ended up putting hands on another person. Which, don't be out here putting your hands on people. If you can't, correctly articulate your feelings and your emotions and what you need to say without putting hands on somebody, just walk away. Take a walk. You don't need to be in that situation no more. And he yelled at her. He keeps yelling at her. So ultimately, she was like, that's how you feel? Because he keeps telling her to get out. And he says, I don't say anything, whether I'm upset or whether I'm calm, that I don't mean. And when I say get the fuck out, I meant get the fuck out. Okay, like Marlo told her nephews, get the fuck out. She finally dropped his keys and leave. And I was like, well, this took longer than I needed it to be. Dime, just leave. He don't want to talk to you. Now Doc tells old girl to leave. She start going off on him, and then she start texting somebody. Doc is like, let me see your phone. Who you texting? She was like, I'm just texting my friends. He was like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. So eventually she go to the front room area. I thought she was going to get her clothes. He was like, I don't hear no leaving. It's taking an awful long time for you to put your clothes on. So we hear the door open. Mind you, because it was taking her so long, Doctor got that big thing from under his bed. Okay, it was a big old gun. Okay. Ooh, I'm scared. Okay, I'm scared. Now he heard the door open and thought she was leaving. So he was gonna put the big thing up under his bed again. However, she come back looking all smug, like she done set somebody up for the okey doke, like everything gonna, be all hunky dory. She got two big guys with her in all black. She think this about to be a setup situation. It's not, cause Doc pulled out that big thing and told them, that's not what's about to go on. If y'all come back up in here, y'all gonna be stinking. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but I'll go with it. Basically, if you come back up in here, I'm gonna air this bitch out. Now Doc is sitting, he going off. He's like, I can't believe it, bitch tried to set me up. Dot. I can't believe it. That's why you can't take them home to your house. So he goes to the bathroom, pulls back the shower curtain. There's Tina once again. It's Tina's ghost. She dead, naked and dead Tina, okay? Once again, it's guilt. And he's not going to be able to do anything until he works that guilt out for himself. He's hallucinating again. Now, Madam is doing laps in the pool. And she's doing laps in the pool. You know who else is in the pool? Roman in his cage. They didn't put him in the pool in his cage. Now, she get out the pool. She tells Tommy, bring him up. Roman is coughing, and he can't tell her why he didn't pay her. And I believe Carla probably said, don't pay her. But also, Roman has a gambling problem. He's a gambling addict. So he probably didn't have the money. Then probably got the money. And then Carla probably said, don't pay her. Roman is trying to bargain for his life. Okay, he is trying to bargain with Madam and Tommy. And he mentions to Madam that Carla is working with somebody to, burn down the club and everything. And Madam ain't worried about Carla. And it's just like, as this continues, you might want to be worried about Carla. Because Carla is about to try to do some grimy shite. What a person. We was already like, we don't know if we can trust you. We don't know if we can trust you, okay? Now, Madam was like, put him back in the water for 4 minutes. And let's see if he gonna talk then. Okay, if he got a plausible explanation. And she was like, you know what? Do we have the defibrillator? And Tommy was like, yeah, we do. She was like, okay, cool. So if anything happened, we got the defibrillator, wake his ass up. He'll be okay. And I was like, well, that's one way to do things. Now, Fuego comes over to see Amp. It's study night. I guess they didn't went back to school. I guess they bestie for resties. And they have a heart-to-heart conversation. I really didn't want to sit through that. But you know what, Nola, if you go binge watch it, listen, I'll send you the link to the website after I'm done with this. Now, if you go binge watch it, you can tell me exactly what that conversation was about. Because I didn't want to sit through, a heart-to-heart between Fuego and Amp. Because they're just like, are y'all going to tell me anything I need to hear that's going to move the story along? Probably not. Midnight come and talk to Doc about seeing Tina, and Midnight says, listen, she was your first kill. When I had my first kill, I saw the person for 9 months, okay? Talk to her. And he was like, talk to her. He was like, yes, talk to her. Basically, talk to her, make peace with her, explain why you did what you did, and eventually she'll go away. Basically, ease your guilt. Or, you can always go to confession and talk to a priest. I don't think they're allowed to talk. I don't. But then I could be wrong. I'm not Catholic, so I don't know. So the fluffer Vicky come in there with her herb man, and it's I don't know. It's a little Asian man. She calls him the China man. Her words, not mine. And he calls her an N-word batch. And Midnight is looking like, now what are these names y'all call each other? And she was like, I be messing around with him. I slap the knob, he eat the buffet, we be hunching and munching, okay? Because that's how I get all my herbs for free. And I was like, ooh, okay. Okay, Vicky, the fluffer, I see you. And the man she brought with her is I think he's a herbalist. herbalist, whatever you want to call him, slash Dr. Man, and he gonna help fix Midnight's ping problem, okay? Now, Rayshawn calls Madam. He is still strapped to the table, but his phone is in his pocket, and he has voice commands on. And, because they took off his clothes in the room that they locked him in, that he is strapped to the table in, he is able to use them voice commands on the phone. So he's like, call Madam. He called her, she picked up, he begging for her to help him, begging, begging. Baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, baby. Come help me. Come save me. I need to be saved, okay? Come save me. Madam tells Tommy to go get him. And Tommy is like, for real? She was like, he has potential. Now, Amp shows up to the club looking for Madam. No, Amp shows up to the club wanting his money. Now, Blue wants him to talk to Madam, and he don't want to talk to her. He don't want to talk to her. He don't want to talk to Tommy. He don't want to talk to Blue. He damn sure don't want to talk to Dime. He just want his money. He told Blue, get my money. It's mine. Blue says, you have to talk to her because I can't release the money until you talk to her. Now, Blue says, we all a family, and we ride for her, and she rides for us. And ultimately, at this point, he completely done, because he was going to die last night if the money would have been new serial numbers. He would have. They had the wood chipper and the electric, whatever electrocution thing they had it ready for him. He was going to be gone, baby. He was going to be gone. Like I said, he completely done. He not trying to hear nothing Blue say, even though she's trying to say, we are family here, and we a effed up family, but we still a family. He basically told her, go get my money. He get loud with her. And she said, be thankful you're not my nephew, because I would have put my foot in your ass already. Blue calls Madam. Madam says just give him the money so he can go, because she doesn't want to talk to him. Because at this point, Madam is hurt. She is upset that she would ever believe that her own nephew would steal from her. And the fact that she was going to have to off him last night, because that's what she thought, because she can't have nobody stealing from her, blood or not. And now that she knows that this was not the situation, she feels like the only thing she can do is push him away, because it's just like, if I push you away, I don't have to worry about you being hurt. I don't have to worry about going through my own emotions. Y'all know she already take them pills. I think she's depressed, has depression or something, or helps with her mood swings. So who knows? But it's a mess. It's a hot mess. Which how? Anyway, Madam goes to see the Hillbilly King, and she says, you lied to me about the money. And because Madam is frustrated, and because there's, once again, this is a situation, you lied and said that her nephew did it, even though he didn't, and she found out he didn't. Ultimately, their relationship is ruined because she was going to kill him last night, and she has a lot of rage built up in her. You created a mess that now she has to clean up. So, because she is raging, because she has all this anger, she unhooks the Hillbilly King from his defibrillator and everything else, and has the machines going off, and pushes him. And, like, he's in the hospital bed, goes behind the hospital bed, takes a head start, and pushes him out the fucking window. And he lands on a car below and bounces off, strapped to the hospital bed and all. And her and Tommy just walk up out of there like they ain't did nothing, as everybody is running down the hallway trying to see what happened, all the doctors and everything. Now, Madam and Tommy pull up at Miss Tandy's house to get Rayshawn. Now the concierge calls Madam and he wants to see her, but she don't want to see him. She don't want to talk to him. He says, the whole hospital thing looked like fun, but right now she got a goddamn headache and she don't want to talk to him. And listen, Nola, if you still here, watching it will be worth it, because we get to see Christian Keys and Eva have a good old sex scene, okay? A little nasty little thing. It was cute or whatever. Anyway, we see Carla is meeting with the concierge and said, see, I told you about her. And I was like, child, I can't. If you concierge, I don't care how cute you are. Christian Keys, I don't care how fine you are, okay? I don't care. And I really don't care about the little gray sliver you got in your hair if you're going to play Madam out like that for Carla. For Carla. Oh, no. You and Carla can get gone for all I care. So Tommy and Madam end up breaking the glass in Miss Tandy's door, because the way her door is set up is just like, regular, schmegular old door. But it has a whole window pane made of glass. So they break the glass, get in the house. Miss Tandy running. The little damn dog runs across the floor. It's a cute little Yorkie, but it causes Tommy to jump on the couch because he thinks the little Yorkie is a rat. It's a mess. And then Miss Tandy is like, I'm gonna call the police. And Madam picks up the dog and basically says, "You want your dog? Go get that. Get the dude from in that room you got him locked up in." And she was like, "What are you dressed in?" Because Tandy is still in the leather, in whips and chains outfit she had on in the previous episode. And she like, "Come on now. You talk about calling the police and you got a whole man chained up and locked up in a room in your house. Make that make sense, because it don't. It really don't." Child, I gotta wrap this up because Love and Marriage Huntsville come on. Okay, so Carla is begging the concierge to help her get control of her father so she can get control of the gang so she can help him. Now, as she's talking to the concierge, she is showing why the concierge probably would never work with her, because first of all, she's calling Alzheimer's Alzheimer's. She's trying to come on to him. She's trying to, throw the coochie at him. She's trying to do everything to get this man to help her, and it's not working. It's not working. She thinks it's working, but it's not working. And she doesn't know, like, once again, I said, she does not know that her father is in his right mind and that he's faking because the feds is watching. Now, like I said, Carla tries to come on to him. He not having it. He call it out. And he says, you're jealous. And she said, jealous of who? And I was like, basically, batch, you jealous of Madam. Now, Madam checks Tandy and tells her, this type of stuff you do with all the money your husband give you. Really? And you just slept in this outfit and it stank up in here. Listen, he gonna go take a shower. Make sure he is at the club in an hour, cleaning everything else. You gonna be at the club later tonight at 10 o'clock, $75,000 in cash. I'm gonna keep this dog. And calls her a nasty bitch because she been in the same outfit all night and all day long. At this point, it's the afternoon time and she's still in that outfit. Now, Amp starts to raise his voice at Blue about that damn money, and Blue says, I'm not your mama. You want the money, you sit down and you wait for Madam to get here. Now, Blue sees the white boy walking around, snooping around, or so we think he's snooping around, and she checks him and tells him, you're an amateur. You are an amateur. You work amateur days and nights. Now, take your ass to the junior dancer locker room and don't come out until I say so. Okay? Do what I said. Madam has made it home. She with Tommy and a dog. Tommy is afraid of little dogs, and he thinks that this little dog looks like a big ass rat. Mind you, I have a dog like that, except she has a long tail because by the time we got her, clipping the tail was not an option. But she's a Yorkie Terrier mix, so I have a little dog like that. Okay, and she acts just like that dog, barking and everything else, like she the biggest dog in the yard, and she not. He is so afraid. Okay, he is so afraid of the dog, and he like, I just wish you would have shot me. She told him, just go take the damn dog for a walk. Now Roman's in a cage in her closet talking shit to her. Okay, eventually he gets a hold of her leg, trips her up, and is able to get out of the cage. So she starts running. She runs to the bed. She's trying to get her gun. Him naked and all hops up on her, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. And he was trying to choke her. Now, I realized going back to the first season that she keeps a knife under her pillow. She pulls out the knife and slashes his throat, and it's just like, it was a gory scene. And it was just like, well, Roman, if you think about it this way, you would have kept your life if you would have just handed that lady her money when she wanted it the first time. Now, Blue and Don talk about Amp being there because he's still at the club. He wants his money. Blue doesn't want to hand it over to him. until he talks to Madam. And Diamond's like, Madam doesn't like to be managed. She don't like being told what to do. And ultimately, this gonna get you in trouble. They talk about Diamond Amp and how, they over, like for real, they ain't never getting back together. We are never getting back together. The guys come in and they trying to talk to Amp, but he not trying to talk to them. He being standoffish with everybody. Like, once again, like I said, he is done because he was gonna lose his life over the fact that this was his money. He didn't steal it over a lie somebody told. Now, the guys know Fuego knows something, but Fuego is being a real ride or die, real best friend. Bitch, my lips are sealed. I don't know nothing. I ain't seen nothing. My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it. My name is Paul, and that's all. My name is Ray, and that's all I got to say. My name is Raphael, and I don't know what rhymes with Raphael. Eventually Blue gives Amp the money, and she tells him, your aunt and Dime love you. Now, Blue is trying to sympathize and empathize with him, and he don't want to hear it, okay? Going in one ear and out the other. He don't want to hear it. Madam comes in with the little dog. She says, he has his money, now he can leave. And he was like, you can't even look me in the eyes and tell me that. She looks at him in the eyes and says, leave. He leave out the door with the money. Him blew up. He come back in and he starts running down everything she's ever done for him. And in the midst of him running down every little thing she's ever done for him, we see her breaking on the inside. And I said, Eva played the hell out of this scene because she is breaking down even more. She's going to break down even more, but she's going to do it like so silently. It's all in the eyes, in like her eyes are watering. It's all in her facial expressions. It's the body language, okay? If y'all can't say nothing else about Eva, she plays the hell out of this role. But like I said, Amp is running down everything she has ever done for him in life. And in the midst of, him running down everything, he realizes that because she got him the lawyers when he was in jail. She took care of him. I think he was sick before anything else. And I'm not talking about this last time around in the hospital. I mean, like way back 9 years ago, he was sick in a hospital. She took care of them then. She got him the lawyers and everything he needed, going to court. And, she was there for him after, he got out of jail and was in the halfway house. And he realizes that the lawyer that came to see him about suing the trucking company that, helped cause the accident and everything, she got for him and she helped him get that money. And it's just like, you helped me get this. You helped me get this money and you turn me away and you do this to me. Like, how can you do that? And even though she is breaking inside and you can see that she is breaking inside, she tells him to leave. Once again, breaking down because she does not know how to actually talk to people in the way that is going to get the point across, because in this game in her life, she can't afford to show weakness even to her own family. And even though she's breaking inside and even though it's hard for her to say, she told him to leave again. And he says, you know what? I promise you'll never see me again. And after he leaves, Blue talks to Madam and says, whether you're going to kill me or not, I'm going to run it down to you. She says, I know you're heartbreaking right now. And I'm going to apologize for my part that I played in this situation, because ultimately she did have to tell Madam about it, but she didn't know that this was going to happen because they all thought that Amp stole the money. They didn't know that it was the situation of Madam got him a lawyer. They sued the trucking company. He won. The trucking company didn't want to take the money back after, everything came out about the accident because they didn't want the people to know that they had settled with him and everything else. And it's just like, she knows your heart. Like, not Madam. Blue says, I know your heart is breaking. I know this. That is your family and you love him. Blue tells her, you got me, you got Dime, you got Amp, and you got Tommy. Hell, you even got the damn dog. That means more than having any army behind you, because we are your army. We are your soldiers. She looks down at the dog. She says, "Cute dog," and walks away. And like I said, Eva did her damn job in this scene because she is showing that her heart is breaking slowly but surely, and she is about to have the biggest breakdown we've ever seen. And I was like, come third season, I don't know what's going to happen because they only had 10 episodes. And I was like, I hope they get renewed for a third season because I need to know what happens, okay? I want them to be good again. Like, I get he was going to die, but you didn't get hurt. You got punched in the face, but you live. Ain't like somebody shot you or nothing. You did get shot, but you'll live, okay? Now Rayshawn showed up back to the club, and Tommy is being real just ugh with him about everything. And ultimately, that standoffish energy that Tommy is giving Rayshawn, I think Rayshawn, the doe-eyed dancer, is about to do something that he can't take back. I don't know if it's going to be to himself. I don't know if it's going to be to Miss Tandy and her husband. Hell, I don't even know if it's going to be the baby face or it could be everybody. But he is like, I'm going to go, I'm going to handle something. First of all, he's not feeling good after everything they did to him, and he needs to go to the hospital. Because what they did to him was jacked up. And you know what? Don't be doing that to people. Trouble sees him, is trying to get Rayshawn to talk, but he leaves. He was like, I got something to do. I'll be back later. I feel like he gonna do something to himself. We'll never know because they only got 10 episodes this season. So until they get renewed for a third season, I don't know what's gonna happen. So the guys are back there in the locker room and they want Fuego to tell them what's going on. And he not telling them. Okay, because he know how to keep a secret. Now the fluffer Vicky come back there. Before Vicky comes back, Teresa's husband sends Doc the DNA test on the baby. The baby is Doc's baby. And the husband says, ultimately when she go to jail, you won't have to get that baby. And if you see her, call the police because that hoe getting crazier and crazier and crazier, and she is losing it and spiraling out of control as time goes on. Now Vicky the fluffer comes in. She like, who need to be fluffed? Nobody needs to be fluffed. But then she tells Doc Teresa out there with that baby. So Doc goes out to have a conversation with Teresa, and like I said, Teresa is spiraling out of control. I think she wants Doc to want her and want the baby, and Doc is doing everything he possibly can to talk her into staying and giving him the baby and everything else. And he was like, I love you, and I love the baby, and I want to be a family, and I love you, and I love the baby, and I want to be a family. And Teresa starts screaming, what's her name? What's her name? And he can't even say nothing. Oh, and Teresa ends up turning around, baby in arms, running, and gets hit by a goddamn bus. The bitch got hit by a bus after everything she did and banging her head in the refrigerator and blaming her husband and tried to not only get Doc but also Midnight to off her husband. And then when that didn't work, she was giving all her husband's money to Doc down to the club and everything. She done ran in front of a goddamn bus. Her and the baby then got hit. And it's just like, and that's how the episode ended. We only got 10 episodes. I don't know what's going to happen after this. I hope they get a third season. It's crazy, okay? It is really crazy. But ultimately, what I can get from these last 4 episodes is Amp is done with everybody. Madam's heart is broken. Tommy, Dime, and Blue trying to do everything they can to get back in that lady good graces, but they also trying to do everything they can to make sure they on their jobs. Dime heartbroken because Aunt don't want nothing to do with her no more. Babyface then got all his stuff took from Miss Patty, and Miss Patty said, I'm suing you for everything I ever gave you. And it's just like, listen, Babyface, I know Miss Patty wanted a lot, but ultimately you could have been a kept man if you just did what she wanted you to do. And you wouldn't be in the situations. Rayshawn is hurt, like his insides possibly all messed up from what Tandy and her colonizing male munching husband did to him. So this is crazy. And Carla out here trying to work with the concierge, and it's just like, this is crazy. Okay, I don't know what's gonna happen. I love the show. It's a good show. I feel like there are times where things can be sped up in the conversations, but it's a good ass show. Okay. And that was it. That was all. Cause I'm gonna go make my little pizza and I'm gonna get ready to watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. And y'all know I'm gonna be taking notes throughout it, and I'm gonna come back to y'all because, child, I really don't want to watch it, but I gotta watch it. And with that being said, that was it. That was all. I ain't got no more to give y'all. That was all the Queen's Men, uh, season 2, episode 7 through 10. That is everything. I will put it in a playlist for y'all so y'all can catch up on everything if y'all want to go back to it. If you're new here, or if you're not new here, like, comment, subscribe, turn post notifications on, share me with your people. Because you may not like me, but somebody out there does. My birthday stream is Monday, so y'all come see me. Y'all come hang out. I will be talking about the stuff that happened over the weekend. I will be doing a little Q&A session as well. I will be celebrating the fact that I made it to 300 subscribers before my birthday happened. And if you want to, anything you need to know, my information's in the description box below and scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And I will see y'all later. Bye.